Hi, welcome back to another video. This is not the video that I was supposed to be making now because I actually already made a video and then there were technical difficulties, of course. But maybe it kind of worked out better because I figured instead of me like trying to piece together other recordings that I made of this, just showing the final product might be better. So that's what I'm going to do. I finally started my, for those of you who have watched my videos before, you know, blue is my favorite color. Pretty much many things in my life are blue, including my ink collection, which is obscene, of different shades of blue, especially dark blues. So I've been going to do videos of swatching my blue ink collection and doing comparisons and all that. So I did, and then of course, like I said, technical difficulties. But since I completed the first one, I thought maybe I will just like show the finished results of what I did and kind of explain how I did it. And I thought that might be more fun for me to do rather than another watch me swatch video because, you know, there's lots of watch me swatch videos. But basically what I did was I picked 7 colors randomly from my, here, let me show you. Just my very small collection of samples of different colors of blue ink. There are many more, but these are all the ones that are sample size. Most of them, I have a couple more samples. I have many others in bottles also, but I thought I would start with the samples and just go from here. There are a couple duplicates within here, maybe 3 or 4, but not that many. So anyhow, what I did was I randomly pulled out 7 colors and decided that I would do swatches of them. This is 7 colors that I did. I would do swatches of them on Tomoe River paper, the 2025, you know, the newer version, on Campus Sarasara, I don't know, version paper because I love this paper, the Kokuyo Campus, and then also on Wearingeul swatch cards. And just to look to see how different they all look. And they all look pretty different to be expected. But it's actually, I found it more interesting than I thought I would, the way that they all appeared differently. So I guess because I have them in my hand, let's start with the swatch cards. And you can just see the ones that I did. I did a Sailor Souboku Deep Blue, Atramentis Atlantic Blue, Pilot Iroshizuku Shin, Atramentis Sherlock Holmes, Sailor Shikiori Zaza, Wearingeul Phantom of the Opera, and Vinta Dugong Bughaw, I think. I don't know how to say it. Bughaw. So anyhow, these are the ones that I started with. And it was interesting to see, you know, just kind of the variety here. I mean, at the surface level, they're all blue, right? All dark navy shades of blue. And they all are, I don't know. I mean, they're different. They're all very different. Like the Souboku Deep Blue. This one is kind of gray. I tried to put, like you'll be able to see on the cards, like I tried to put heavier in some areas and leave it lighter in some. And this one has kind of a gray undercast or whatever to it. The Atramentis Atlantic Blue is just basic blue. I would still call this like a navy blue, but maybe a little bit lighter, which probably doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm calling it. This one, the Pilot Iroshizuku Shinkai, I thought was very interesting because you can see where I left it very thin. It's like almost a gray blue, but where I put it on heavier, there's sheen, not a lot, but there is sheen, and it's like a teal color. So that was interesting to me. The Atramentis Sherlock Holmes doesn't really show any sheen on this Wearingeul card, but it does later in the paper. But this one kind of has some violet tone to it. The Sailor Shikiori Zaza, I would say, is leans a little bit more teal. Like, it's definitely still blue, but I feel like it's pulling green a bit, and I guess I would still call it a navy blue, but like a lighter navy than what I did the Atlantic blue. But anyhow, so that's the Zaza. Wearingeul, Phantom of the Opera, one of my favorite colors, one of my favorite inks. This one is so cool. There's good sheen with it, good like multi-tonal blues. I just love this ink. I'm surprised that, I mean, you can see the sheen, I hope. But I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't show up more, being that this is a Wearingeul swatch card. But anyhow, and then the Vinta. This one, I knew it was a sheen bomb. It, satisfied my, that's exactly what it is. Interestingly, it's not like, it's coming off a little bit, but not too badly. I checked the paper after it dried yesterday and didn't smudge on there badly at all. What you can see around the edges is just from my paintbrush. So anyhow, these are the 7 colors that I started with. And first I'll do the Hobonichi. So what I did was I just put them in, each one in a row or column or whatever. And actually, let's just go ahead and do this. We'll put the little cards with them to see how different they look. Deep blue, Zaza, Atlantic blue, and Shinkai. Well, that didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but close enough. So the Sherlock Holmes had, looks different on the Wearingeul than it does here. Not much different. It still has, I would say, some violet to it. There is a little bit of sheen that comes through here. Really almost like hard. I would not say there's any sheen on this, swatch card, but there's a little bit that comes through here. The Atramentis Atlantic blue, there's definitely sheen here. The ink, when I have it heavy, kind of takes on a kind of a teal color. And like I said, there is sheen. Not really anything on the Wearingeul swatch card, but the color's relatively similar. Sailor Souboku Deep Blue. This is cool, kind of a multi-tonal thing too. Not really any sheen, and it matches up pretty well, I think. Pretty similar. So, Wearingeul, Phantom of the Opera. This is one of my all-time favorite inks. Lots of sheen up here. And I intentionally kind of did these heavier and then a little bit thinner. So, and they're kind of sporadic, so whatever. But anyhow, lots of sheen up here. And then here, where I didn't put it quite as thick, but I thinned it out a little bit with some plastic wrap. The blue is showing more, and kind of matches the swatch card, except the sheen is more shiny, definitely on the Tomoe River paper. The Sailor Shikiori Zaza is pretty much the same. After this dried, there is a little tiny bit of sheen, like in here, maybe a couple around the edges, but not a whole lot. But the color looks basically the same. The Pilot Iroshizuku Shin, I think the color looks pretty similar, except there is more sheen on the Tomoe River paper. And I thought on the Wearingeul, this little piece that I didn't put much on, where it's very light, was very gray. And I think that carries through here, where it's not quite so, you know, I didn't put quite as much on. And then the Vinta Sheen Bomb, it's, I mean, super shiny. Shiny on the paper, shiny on here. Let me see. Yeah, it's not really smudging. That's interesting, because I haven't had luck with this one before, but yeah, let me pull them in a little bit closer for you to be able to see. It's easier for me to lift it up than for me to try and zoom in. So there's those. And there. So that's on the Tomoe River paper. And I also used the, again, the Kokuyo Campus paper that I like so much. This is just a loose leaf that I put into this little binder. And this is the Sarasara, not Sarasa, Sarasara, 6mm lined paper. And here, I think all the same qualities are present, even the sheen, except what's interesting to me about this paper is that while the sheen is still present, it's not, it's not quite as intense as it is on the Tomoe River paper. For example, the Vinta here, like you can definitely see the sheen in it. There's a lot of like the red through here, but it's not like shiny like this. And on the Tomoe River, I feel like I could, like, if I wanted to see myself in it, I could, you know, if I angled it just right, I could use this as a mirror. Here, there's a little bit of shine, but not much. It's much more almost matte, really. The rest of them, the colors pulled pretty similar. Like the Shinkai still was pretty grayish with some teal and a little tiny bit of shading around it, but most of them pretty much showed the same as they did on the Tomoe River. Again, except for the sheen, again, the Wearingeul, you can see it, but it's not like super shiny. And it's not super shiny on the Tomoe River, but it's more shiny than what it is here. But anyhow, the other thing that I want to mention about this is that there's no bleed through. Again, I love this paper. Like even as heavy as I put these on, and I put them on pretty heavily, there's, you know, I mean, you might be able to call this this ghosting, but there's no bleed through whatsoever. This is, again, the Campus 6mm loose leaf. I think I have it right here. Well, this is a 7mm, but it's the same paper. The only difference is this is a 7mm. The one that's inside here is a 6mm, but it's just loose leaf Kokuyo Campus Sarasara paper. So yeah, that's what I did, and I think that's just what I'm gonna keep doing, is go through and do like 7 at a time, and go through and continue to have fun swatching my colors. All of my blues. What I'm going to say is they're all different. Even though some are going to be very, very similar, maybe almost exact dupes, I'll see something different in them, and it'll justify me wanting to test that one and see how different it is. I've been on the quest for the perfect blue for a very long time, and I'm pretty much settled that Diamine Oxford Blue is like my perfect blue. Lamy Cliff and oh, there's one other one that's escaping me right now. Oh, J. Herben, I think it's Profonde Blue or something like that. Those are all very similar in coloring. Those are like my perfect blue. But I'm going to keep looking and going to keep finding them. And I want to be able to find fun ones like that have some fun sheen, that look good and that work well in a fine point pen. The Vinta, like even this writing here is like, it's shiny. And that was with a medium point Pilot dip pen. The Wearingeul has a little bit of shine in it, but not much. But the Vinta, but I would not ever put this in a pen that I couldn't take apart and thoroughly clean, because it's just, you know, they tend to be sticky. So anyhow, I don't know what 7 will be next, but stay tuned, and I will, after I get them done and after they all dry, I will come back and give you an update on round 2 of sampling all the blue colors. Thanks a lot. Take care.